New security officer's not joining us.
He'll be late.
Okay.
And we're live, so you can start off whenever you're ready, Captain, with your log.
Captain's log. Stardate 8280.3. The Argo is currently docked at Starbase One for repairs, final fitting out, and to take on supplies, including a full complement of probes and photon torpedoes. We've received our sailing orders from Admiral Bennett, and we'll be weighing anchor to make for the Trill sector in a week's time. In the meanwhile, I've authorized shore leave for the crew and plan to take a couple of days at the family homestead myself. First things first, however. Unless Specialist Harrison opts for a formal court-martial, I'll be convening a captain's mast for non-judicial punishment for his poor judgment. On the bright side, I'll be following that proceeding with a meritorious mast to recognize Lieutenant Junior Grade Carroll and others for their exemplary service during the last few weeks. After that, the crew will be dismissed for leave rotations, and we can all enjoy a well-deserved break. End log. Sorry, I realize I mispronounced Carroll's name there, but...
And it happens.
Alright, we'll start off on the bridge. Currently, the Argo has just entered space dock and is proceeding with docking procedures.
Very well.
Captain, have I ever told you this is my least favorite part of the job?
No, Lieutenant Sanadell. However, I'm not surprised.
She just twiddles her thumbs.
Tractors look okay. Everything's lined up. Transponders. All okay.
In Samira, hand off control for final docking to Starbase One.
Yes, sir. And she does it. And she does it. She flips the switch.
The Argo is slowly guided into the starbase as starbase control automatically does its automation using tractor beams and little assists from the control room, and slowly guides the Argo in and docks it at one of the docking ports. As the Argo pulls in, you notice the Excelsior is currently docked, along with the USS Yorktown, which seems to have taken on some heavy battle damage.
Lieutenant Sanadell, make sure docking clamps are complete or are secure. Extend boarding tubes and secure the ship.
Yes, sir. And I will get right on that. And she does it.
Wow. Moment goes by, Sandel, and you notice your console. The corresponding LCARS platform indicates that docking clamps have been secured.
We're all ready, Captain.
Very good. XO, place the ship on docking status.
Entering into the system docking status. Mira, please make the shipway an announcement.
She acknowledged, and over the intercom here, attention Argo, the vessel is currently docked at Starbase One. You're all clear for docking procedures, as well as if you have boarding passes and shore leave, depending on what the captain decides here.
Understood. Crew will be granted shore leave shortly. call a shipwide assembly for... What time is it now, GM?
It's in the evening.
So what, like
1800.
Something like that.
Okay. Call a shipwide assembly in the... What's the largest space aboard? Main mess hall or hangar deck?
It'll probably be the shuttle bay.
Yep. Shipwide assembly on the hangar deck for 1900 hours, after which crew will be free, will be on liberty.
Yeah, so you want to go straight into the ceremony?
I want to do the captain's mast and then the meritorious mast. So, XO, if you'll join me in my ready room. Ensign Mira, my compliments to Dr. Marlowe, and ask him to join us as well.
Understood.
Aye, sir.
And I'll see the rest of you at 1900.
Dr. Marlowe, this is Ensign Mira. Could you please report to the captain's ready room?
Certainly. Did he say what this was about?
He did not.
Okay, I will be right up.
Oh. Oh.
Well, we made it home, Commander.
Aye, sir. It's not terribly comforting seeing all this class of ships sitting in dock like that, though.
Well, we'll be out soon enough. 1 week. This time we'll be fully provisioned.
I don't know, sir. I liked everything being on back order. Kept the crew on edge.
Well, I'm not sure Mr. Martell would agree with you, but pretty sure he's halfway up at Jeffrey's tube anyway.
It's probably about then that I chimed the door.
Come.
And I step inside and said, "Sirs, you wanted to see me?"
Yes, in your role as Chief of Boat more than Chief Medical Officer. Per your advice, and I look at both of them, I've decided to offer Specialist Harrison non-judicial punishment, an old-fashioned captain's mast, if you will. However, he does have the right under the Uniform Code of Starfleet Justice to request a full court-martial in lieu of non-judicial punishment. So, Dr. Marlowe, if you would carry that offer to the ensign, the specialist, and see what he wants to do. Assuming he takes the captain's mast instead, I'd like to go ahead and get that over with before we all head out on leave.
Very good, sir. I will go do that immediately unless you have needed me further.
Nope. And as soon as the specialist is ready.
Sir, if you want to promote him to an ensign, I'm sure he'd be thrilled.
As soon as it's been a long voyage, Doctor. You can bring him up to the conference room.
Roger that, sir. I will hopefully be back momentarily. And I let them finish their conversation and go present the options to the specialist.
What are you planning for the man, sir? If I may ask.
Let's see. Well, nothing too severe. Reduction in rank to crewman, and restriction to quarters for a period of 3 weeks is Well, it's not called restriction to quarters.
Confined to quarters?
No, it's a restriction to area, I think. Basically, you get to go to work. You get to go to meals, and you get to go to your quarters.
Restricted to duties and to quarters otherwise.
It's restriction to limits. That's what the nautical term is. Well, don't look too disappointed, XO. Just remember, it's a rare Master Chief who doesn't have at least 3 NJPs on his record somewhere along the way. If Harrison really has what it takes and wants to be a Starfleet crewman and a Starfleet non-commissioned officer, he can work his ass off and gain back his specialist rank and higher, particularly if he accepts responsibility.
You know more about this than I do, Haggard. I mean, I don't. Back in the intelligence, someone screws up, even something minor like that, they're tossed out on their ear to regular service. So, I'm trying not to be too hard on people on this ship because I know this isn't an intelligence op. This is an operating starship. So, well, you know how hard to come down.
The advantage of this for him is that it's not a court-martial. He gets to stay in the service, and while it does go on his record, it is not as serious as other potential consequences. Honestly, if the young man chooses a court-martial over non-judicial punishment, he's facing a significant amount of prison time.
Mm. Yeah, it's one of those things I never really dealt with, sir. Didn't have too many court-martials before. I've heard about them, I've read about them in the academy, but most of it was non-judicial decision. You were just transferred quietly out, and that was the end of it. That usually meant your career was arrested until intelligence thought you weren't a security risk anymore. Which intelligence is probably going to give him an eye for a while anyway, no matter what we do.
True enough, but this way, unlike a court-martial, his career isn't ruined.
True.
He has a chance to. What's going on? We have people flirting. Yep, sure enough. This way, his career isn't ruined, and his record is not irredeemably tainted.
So, what are your plans? On a lighter note, what are your plans for shore leave, sir?
Well, I'm going to take at least a couple of days at the old homestead down in Mount McGregor, old New York State, and what used to be the U.S., the United States. Hopefully some good books. I don't know if any of the rest of the family will be there between the Federation Diplomatic Corps and Starfleet Diplomatic Corps. The family tends to be at the far ends of the galaxy at any given time. But a few days off and then back up here to oversee final loading and all the logistics. How about yourself?
Oh, I'll probably do another tour of a few lectures on Earth. Might catch one of the catch the tail end of a symposium that's being held on Space Dock. It's a minor one, just among civilian academics.
Haggard raises an eyebrow and looks at you over his cup of coffee as he takes a sip. You do know how to have a good time, Commander von Wartburg.
Oh, it's the after party you have to enjoy. That's when everyone gets to pop out the wine and eat the nice stuff. And then the pub crawl, because there's always at least one pub crawl among the professors.
I see.
It's like they're all students again. He shakes his head and drinks his coffee. One thing, Captain, I almost forgot. Someone in the science department was talking about getting looking into doing some botany work with some of your beans, if you don't mind. Not the entire supply, but we're looking to see if we can try to grow it in a shipboard so we don't have to worry about food replicators or having to keep up the stores. If nothing else, it'll add to the recreational supply for the rest of the crew.
I don't see any problem with that.
I'll worry about setting that up when shore's over, because I got a letter not that long ago and they were very excited. Let's put it that way. And I told them they can wait, enjoy their shore leave, and then come back with whatever proposal they have. Which that's going to be a long read.
Still, it should be interesting to see what they would come up with. It's going to be hard to beat some of Earth's beans for sure, and they've been doing some amazing things on Tau Ceti 6, and actually Trillius Prime has a similar drink to coffee that's quite intriguing. And as you know, from our past experience, I picked up something of a penchant for Klingon Raktajino from time to time.
Oh, how can you drink that stuff? It's so just bitter. It's just nothing but...
I will admit it's not my go-to for day-to-day, but when you really need to wake up, there's nothing quite like a cup of Raktajino to get the synapses firing rapidly.
I'll take tea or a stim shot any day. Or good coffee, I suppose. Not often we have a bean supply on board. Are we taking on any new crew? I hear that we're going to be, especially since we're rotating out Morgan.
Yes, looks like a newly minted lieutenant junior grade, name of Vulcan, I believe. From what I've seen of his record, he has actually completed the Culinar process, which I don't know all that much about, but as I understand it, is the most severe and extreme of the Vulcan logic training and discipline.
Very demanding from my studies. It's the sort of thing most Vulcans don't achieve, and it's one of the lifetime achievements. It takes their entire lives to. Some never even achieve it, even into old age.
That should be an interesting addition, particularly between a hot-headed engineer and a passionate chief medical officer.
What post is he taking up?
He will be our new chief of security.
Now that surprises me. It seems... Well, I guess it doesn't really. I mean, Vulcans see the logic of maintaining peace and serenity.
Well, order as well. Yes. Law and order are very logical concepts.
Although on the plus side, not to say anything against Morgan, he was a good officer, but somehow I think this Vulcan is going to be very high on keeping casualties down among the crew. Vulcans are loath to hurt sentient people, as I recall. Especially one who's a chief culinary.
Well, and Starfleet intelligence, I think will find a good fit with Martel. I mean, no, dang it,
Morgan, sir.
Morgan. Oh, down to 2 M names, thankfully. I think he'll fit in right well with your bunch.
I beg your pardon, sir?
With your bunch, intelligence.
Oh,
you can't fool me, XO. I know you keep the lines of communication open, and I encourage that.
I can't say I'm active anymore, but having been a division head for as long as I have, you make old... as you've made old crewmates and old shipmates, I've made old operation mates, as it were. Closest thing we get in the service in that branch.
Well, now that Trill is a member of the Federation and we're getting access to their intelligence reports about their region of space, your intelligence training may come in very handy, and your old contacts with whatever this mysterious race that's trying to stake a claim to part of that area at least. And then again, there's the Zinkethi. I don't like the fact that they were brazen enough to attack 621. That could be trouble in the future. He said, foreshadowing the Federation's Akethi War.
Well, it's also getting this alliance with the Trill is going to attract a lot of political attention from our rivals. This is a big gain for us to get Trill finally under our wing.
Mm-hmm. But I think it benefits Trill as well.
Oh, yes.
I think we're good, GM, if you want to move to...
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a scene in sickbay.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's right. There are all these other people.
There are all these other people.
Yes, there are other players in this game. No.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking about them.
So, Doctor, where are you going to meet Harrison at?
Honestly, wherever Harrison would be at the moment. So if he's in his quarters, I'd go to his quarters, but otherwise I would track him down in like the mess hall or wherever he just happens to be.
Okay, well, we'll do that real quick. It's like, clear the theater of the mind room. Alright, currently, Specialist Harrison is in his quarters, contemplating his current future in Starfleet.
All right, well, I chime the door.
Enter.
I walk in and smile and take a look at him, and I say, Specialist Harrison, it's good to see you here. I have good news, and somewhat good news, but it's also bad.
Kind of looks at you awkwardly, like, oh, well, lay it on me, Doctor.
Well, the semi-good news is that you do not have to subject yourself to a court-martial if you do not want it. To be more clear, the captain is offering you what is known as a captain's mast. Long story short, he's going to dress you down for a little bit. You're going to feel a little bit humiliated, but at the end of the day, you're going to get off with what is essentially a slap on the wrist. It's probably going to come with a reduction in rank, but it's not permanent. You can earn your rank back. If you choose to do that, the court-martial will not happen, but you do have the option to request a court-martial instead.
Honestly, that I have been humiliated enough as it is. Hate to say it, but anymore, it's better than a court-martial, I guess.
Exactly. And to be clear, this isn't the end of your career in Starfleet. I mean, hell, if you've seen my record, even though large parts of it are redacted, it's quite possible for you to, one day make Master Chief. You just have to sort of put your nose to the grindstone.
I guess I'm going back to Specialist second class then.
Hey, at least you're not a crewman third class. And I wink at him.
True, very true. So when is my humiliation supposed to take place?
Right now, actually, unless you have anything else you'd like to attend to.
Now I'll be fine.
All right. Well, follow me then. And on the way out, I'll tap the comm panel and let the captain's yeoman know that I am on the way up with Harrison.
And
I love having a yeoman.
The yeoman acknowledges and goes to inform the captain.
Thank you, Lieutenant Jatolis.
I haven't figured out a voice for her yet, so
That's fine.
there'll be one eventually.
So we'll move to
My question is, where's the fogging taking place?
the flogging taking place. Let's.
You did say the conference room.
Yeah, the conference room will work.
It has good soundproofing.
And it's a little bit. It's a little more spacious than the than my ready room, and we have a map for it. So I mean, usually these take place in some sort of briefing room that can be cleared out, but
No, on the table.
all right. All right, and as we leave my office, I will tell the XO. All right, serious officer faces on.
Sir.
So when Marlowe brings Harrison in,
I would say about this time, Marlowe and Harrison enter the room. Harrison looks a bit nervous.
Specialist Harrison, attention to discipline.
Stands at attention.
Under Article 15 of the Uniform Code of Starfleet Justice, captains have the authority to administer non-judicial punishment should they feel a crewman's errors do not require court-martial. Fortunately for you, Specialist, Chief of Boat and the Executive Officer have convinced me that you are worth giving a second chance. Were I you, I would do my best to prove them right. You understand that you have the option to forego this in favor of a full and formal court-martial. Do you accept non-judicial punishment?
I do, sir.
XO, what are the charges against this crewman?
This crewman has been proven to have acted as inappropriate for a Starfleet crewman, engaged in conduct and unbecoming of someone of his station. He has also aided persons who had ill will toward the ship and is party to sabotage.
Specialist Harrison, do you have any defense to offer?
And just because I know it's something I can do unless told otherwise, I do lean in and whisper, if you need me to act as counsel, that's still allowed as far as I know.
He just kind of nods and is like, I don't dispute the charges, sir.
Very well. In light of your taking responsibility, I hereby sentence you to a reduction in rank by 1 grade and 3 weeks restriction to limits. You will go to work, go to mess, and go back to your quarters. Mr. Harrison, your actions endangered everyone on this ship. You put every single life on the Argo, 750 beings, at risk. If Lieutenant Commander Martel had not acted quickly, the warp core would have been in breach, and none of us would be here. These are very, very serious actions, and please be aware that you are getting off incredibly lightly. You need to prove to me, to Master Specialist Marlowe, to the XO, and more importantly, to your crewmates and yourself, that you're worthy of this chance and have what it takes to be a member of Starfleet. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Very well. Dismissed.
And he nods and exits the conference room.
Well, that was fun.
Well, not all the duties of command are particularly pleasant, but
Aye, sir.
I don't know. I think he might become the best non-com on the ship after that. If not, I'll bet he does his damnedest to do it.
Well, on a much lighter note, sir, I actually do have an offer if you would prefer to have a pleasant duty as a captain.
And that would be?
Well, part of my shore leave is I will be visiting a longtime, shall we say, spouse of mine. We haven't formally tied the knot, and I figure now's as good a time as any if you have the time to officiate.
Why, Dr. Marlowe, I'd be honored, of course.
Very well. I will let her know, and I'll get back to you with when we're available.
And one more thing, just so a little bit of discipline goes around the board as well in the upper levels, as it were. All senior staff to be in dress whites for the meritorious mast at 1900. So, to your monkey suits, gentlemen.
Marlowe kind of grimaces a little. Sir, I'm not going to question your orders, but I will say your metaphor is a little bit too apt, unfortunately. I haven't gotten that thing tailored in years.
I'm sure the ship's tailor will take care of that for you. I'll have Lieutenant Jatolis send the tailor to you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
And I'll make sure Jatolis does that. So, Jatolis, have the Captain to Jatolis.
This is Zatola, sir. Go ahead.
Please have the member of the ship's tailors report to Dr. Marlowe's quarters to refit and tailor his dress whites.
Understood, sir, though I understand this will deplete our fabric reserves.
Is that a joke, Lieutenant Satolis?
I hope it is, sir.
Very good.
You can tell that she's trying to smile.
Right. Very good. Need some work, but keep up the good work. Haggard out.
And then, Zatolis sends the tailor.
He does have a large frame, sir. It will take quite a bit of fabric.
My God, the man's not King Kong.
I mean... Well, put him on that exercise bike in Medbay. He'll probably power the whole ship if we let him.
Well, I'll give you that, but good Lord, people act like we're dressing Gulliver. So yeah, I'm good till the meritorious mast. If anybody else has anything they want to do.
I mean, I was going to make fun of you some more, but go ahead.
Yeah, nope, I got nothing. If she's told she's got to be in dress white, she will stop her from flirting and go change.
Yeah. I'm totally making up the dress whites bit. I know by Next Generation that's what they did, and it kind of makes sense that you just replace the red surge with white surge.
And she will stop by sick bay to get her daily shot. So, yep. And that's it for her until the thing.
All right. A few moments pass by. The tailor enters the conference room. Assuming that's where he was called. Goes, sir.
Oh no, I would have met him at my quarters.
Yeah,
Okay.
I told her to send him to his quarters. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah. We'll just say all that happens. He takes your measurements and yeah, he's like, this is going to take some time.
Well, you have 2 hours, and I hate to order you around, but it is kind of important that I show up in non-ripped shirts.
I will endeavor to do my best. And he gets to work. Alright. During those 2 hours, new crew members are entering the Argo, and then ones that have been assigned elsewhere are departing. But what we'll do is we'll go back to the Theater of the Mind, currently you guys are in the shuttle bay. Podium has been erected. Many of the officers have gathered and are currently, as I'm reading, we did a comment earlier, but sorry. Everyone's gathered, and the ceremony can begin whenever you're ready, Captain.
Very good. Since the earliest days of sailing vessels, masters of ships have had the privilege of recognizing crewmen for service above and beyond the call of normal duty. During the great age of sail on Earth, these events became known as meritorious masts for being held at the main mast of the ship, one of the few places on the old sailing vessels the captain could address the entire crew. It is in this tradition that I've called you all here today. We have 2 officers who have given service to the ship, without which none of us might be here today. For their service, in recognition of their service, I am placing letters of commendation in their permanent records. Lieutenant Commander Martell, Dr. Marlowe, please step forward.
And I do so, hopefully in a shirt that is not straining to contain me. Oh, good. It is crafted to perfection. Good, which means it doesn't look silly on me.
Excellent.
You still look like King Kong, though.
Yep. From Commanding Officer, USS Argo, NCC 2001, to Master Chief Specialist Marcus Marlowe, Chief Medical Officer, USS Argo. 1. Your outstanding performance aboard the USS Argo from Stardate 8258 to Stardate 8278 exemplified the highest ideals of both Starfleet and the medical profession. Your devotion to the well-being of the people under your care, often at great personal risk, and unflagging determination to respect their cultural privacy is a credit to the service. Your personal integrity, selfless devotion to duty, meticulous attention to detail, and professionalism distinguished you and is an inspiration to all personnel assigned to the USS Argo. It is with great pleasure that I commend you for exceptional performance of duty and wish you continuing success in the future. A copy of this commendation will be made a permanent part of your service record. Signed, Captain Ulysses Haggard, Starfleet, and a nice embossed heavyweight copy of the formal letter over to Marlowe. I read a very similar one to Lieutenant Commander Jason Martell. Your outstanding performance aboard the USS Argo from Stardate 8258 to Stardate 8278 exemplified the highest ideals of a Starfleet officer. Your quick actions and clear thinking saved the ship and crew more than once during this period, and so on. And then after they've stepped back, Lieutenant Searle, please step forward.
And she does.
And I have Lieutenant, I'm going to take me a while to get her name memorized. Lieutenant Zatolis Hanby, a pad. Attention to orders. And I read from the pad. The chair of the Joint Chiefs of Starfleet has reposed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, valor, fidelity, and professional excellence of Sorol. In view of these qualities and her demonstrated leadership potential and dedicated service to Starfleet, the chair and Joint Chiefs confirm her field promotion to the rank of Lieutenant, junior grade, as permanent and official. And I pass the pad over and then pin a new set of Lieutenant JG pips onto Sorol's collar.
And she, of course, smiles wide as you pin them on and says, "Thank you very much, sir. I hope to be a credit to the uniform."
You already are. And I turn back. I'm very proud to be your captain. I hope to host many more such meritorious masts. And I'm sure that I will. You are a fine crew. And so I say to you, commence shore leave. Dismissed.
You hear a big cheer and a round of applause as everyone throws up, and they're excited. And
Yeah.
throws their arms
Niggas are
up in the
excited.
air, Yeah, throws up their arms in the air. Let me finish the statement.
Very good.
Sorry.
What was it? Okay.
Real quick, and I probably should do this over PM, but I'll say it because I want everyone to weigh in. What sort of supporting character would we need at this point? I know we've got medical covered. It looks like we already have a few engineers. We have some science and security people. So what are we missing at this point?
I guess another pilot.
A spare pilot, yeah.
The pilot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Iran, I think, is my second as far as that, but yeah.
Yeah, you usually want 2 people on the bridge and 1 who flies around shuttles.
Okay.
In that era, because they had navigators and pilots, as opposed to it being one single con station.
Right. I was thinking either a pilot or maybe a diplomatic attaché if we wanted to have an attaché aboard.
That's not bad.
Why not both?
Sure. Why not? I'll build them that way.
Birds of a taco commercial.
You're not fooling us. You just want to build some more characters.
I mean, I half joked that eventually I will have roles everywhere on the ship.
So, yeah, those 2 sound good. We need another pilot. Yeah, diplomatic attaché is not bad. Just to have a character there that might come in fun would be a JAG officer, just like a ship's lawyer, somebody we could call on if we ever got in, to where we needed an expert on Starfleet regulations and Federation law. That might be kinda cool.
How would you feel about an attaché / JAG officer? Because I can make it happen. The only caveat is that they would have to be of a high rank, because usually JAG officers have an equivalent rank to at least the XO, or at least that's in my experience what they've been.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's part
I
of
can
the
see
whole.
Lieutenant Commander would probably be the lowest.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
sense.
it's kind of the same thing where they have to have rank in case they have to discipline the captain or the XO, and it's a very special kind of position. Sort of like the CMO always outranks the captain in medical matters.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe we don't need a lawyer on board then. It's just an idea. So, but yeah, honestly, whatever you want to make, I think that just provides more fodder for adventures and roleplay.
I'll flip a coin in chat and I'll build them that.
Okay.
Okay, don't mind me. I will be building.
Okay. Thanks for dealing with all that, guys. That was just kind of little flavor stuff I wanted to do.
It's cool. You stuffy shirted, full of yourself. Oh, the mic's on.
Yeah, Sonadell's not hurt that she almost died and didn't get anything. And it's not a big deal to her. No, she just puffs away. No.
Oh, it's not like I said. There'll be more.
You have to earn it, that's all.
Oh, nearly dying isn't enough. Okay.
Not really. That's just standard duty.
Yeah.
Tell me how many other pilots you know can handle Type 3 like she can. Anyway.
I mean, I could probably find one. Starfleet's pretty big.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Anyway, all right. Captain, as you step off the podium, a lot of the crew members are kind of trying not to bump into you, but one individual kind of does and brushes against you, and she apologizes as she walks off.
No worries.
But go ahead.
No worries, Lieutenant, whatever the rank may be.
Okay. You do notice that the rank is a lieutenant of junior grade.
What's her department?
You don't recognize her. You haven't seen her before.
No, but the tab on that shoulder that tells you what department of or what department.
Orange, white,
right?
Division, like operations.
Yeah, division. Thanks.
That'd be operations.
What species?
Human.
Right. Oh, if this isn't a Chekhov's gun, I don't know exactly what it is. So,
well, her name isn't Chekhov. I mean, come on.
I mean, maybe if we say nuclear vessels very quickly, Chekhov's gun will go away.
That's right.
We must find nuclear vessels.
Right.
Yes. The captain is assaulted.
All right. The captain is assaulted. Yep. So,
time for another captain.
Spending 2 threat for an unknown complication for down the road.
All right. So yeah, I'm going to grab the XO before he gets too far and ask him to accompany me back to my quarters.
Certainly, sir.
And grab a tricorder while you're at it.
Yes, sir.
And once we get there, I may be paranoid, XO, but with all the infiltrators and what we have, give me a quick scan. See if there's any tracking devices or anything that's been planted on me.
Oh, good instinct, sir.
Yeah, the Prax is just doing this to fuck with me.
Flip open my tricorder and I give him a thorough scan.
Sorry. Yeah. Reason plus science. Difficulty 0. So, yeah.
Are we that ridiculous, really?
Focus infiltration? Sorry.
I mean, it's not ridiculous
0,
until your players are trying to diplomance a mushroom, and that's happened on Akagi.
Diplomance?
Yeah, you've got your chronomancers, you've got your pyromancers, so diplomance.
There's 1 momentum. And you find nothing on him.
I hate to tell you this, sir, but I think you have a case of acting like an intelligence officer. But otherwise, you're fine, sir.
Well, had to happen eventually. All right. Go enjoy your shore leave. I hope there's some interesting lectures and after parties. It looks like I need to dig up the fleet marriage ceremony. So yeah, I will. After the XO heads out, I'll I guess I better pack the dress uniform since I'm going to be performing a ceremony. So, and get ready for shore leave.
Just show up in slacks.
That's right. In complete 70s gear because it's
hey,
TOS,
you don't know.
man.
It could be a Betazoid wedding. You never
It's
know.
true.
Traditional Rysian.
It's true.
God.
think
I'm not sure
Betazoids are part of the Federation at this point just yet, so I don't
Yeah,
think you have to
not
worry about the.
But the Rysians, hey. Sorry.
So, and I will send the doctor my personal contact information before I head for shore leave, so that he can let me know when and where he wants me.
Awesome.
So before we go to another scene and you lose that one momentum, is there anything else you guys wish to do?
Everybody's just packing.
I think at most I might chime the admiral's staff to see if there's any word on the intelligence report from Trill. It probably hasn't come in yet, but I check on it just half-handed. Like, I'll tab them real quick, and if it's a no, whatever, go back to what I'm doing.
They did they get back to you. They did get an intelligence report. They are still going through the data because it was quite a handful that the Trill dumped upon them. So any permanent information will be handed to the Argo as need-to-know basis.
Okay, very good. Do they believe it'll get to the Argo before it ships out? Because I don't know how much they just got dumped on. So
anything that could also forward everything to via subspace.
I suppose, yeah. I thanked them for their work and wish them luck, because thinking back to pouring through and analyzing reports, so it's like, nah, have fun with that. I'm too high ranked that I don't have to do that anymore. As much.
All right. So with that, most of the Argo crew has departed and has started their shore leave. Few crews remain behind. Most likely Martel remain behind as well to ensure that the proper supplies get delivered. Another few crews from operations are working away, making sure everything gets where it needs to get. Meanwhile, though, the next day on Earth, Lieutenant Saladell and Ensign Mira enter an Italian restaurant in San Francisco.
Bottle of red, bottle of white.
Right.
When you enter the restaurant, it is packed like usual. It's pretty much wall-to-wall people and people waiting to get seated. But luckily, Ensign Mira was on the ball and reserved a table for the two of you for the evening.
Yay.
The two of you are escorted back to a table. It's kind of situated in the middle of the restaurant. But as you do this, you're trying to make your way through. There are quite a lot of people, and there's several that kind of brush up against you as you're trying to move down. Nothing offensive or anything like that, just trying to pass by.
Where he's fucking with us.
She is actively trying to not feel everything in the room. And even though it's both ladies, she will actually like pull out the seat for Mira and then I guess they order food and she will go, do you come to be aboard the Argo? The Argo.
You're kind of choppy.
Oh, sorry. It's my phone. I apologize. Basically, she just asks, how did you wind up on the Argo? Like, she's trying to make small talk.
She goes through and explains that she was assigned to the Argo, just kind of like how everyone else was. This is also her first posting on a starship. Usually she's been assigned for decryption and encryption algorithms at Starfleet headquarters, but she felt it was needed to take posting elsewhere.
Well, in kind of good you were around. You helped in a lot of situations. But that I've asked you about your career. Tell me a little bit more about yourself.
So I'm not gonna go into full role play with this here.
Yeah.
So real quick, so some time passes. You get to know her a little bit better. You know that she's from Ryza, and she decided to leave Ryza because she wanted a little bit more adventure. Yada yada yada. But as the night goes on, she gets up and asks to be excused. And Bosch is like, you don't have to come with her, but she goes off and uses the...
Yeah. I mean, yeah, she'll probably sit and wait at the table, because, yeah. But, yeah, probably. No.
A few moments... a few moments pass by. And Mira does not return. However, someone does come up to your table, and it is Ensign Harrison, and he sits down and goes, I really want to thank you for, I know this is not a date or anything like that, but I really want to thank you for letting me get off the ship. You know, what happened on there was just...
Excuse me?
You invited me here tonight. Is everything all right, Lieutenant?
Point, she does empathically scan the person. Because she knows what it feels like. No sense.
What feels what? Wait, what?
She's gotten an empathic scan of Mira before.
Right.
Yeah. This is the same person? Always been at comm station? Right.
This is an ensign named Jack Harrison.
I'm sorry, Ensign, or Jack, sorry. Brain's a little scattered. Do you mind if we call it a night? I'm not feeling so well.
Oh, no worries. Do you need a shuttle to your back to the ship, or...
No. Apartment's near here. It's fun. I just, all the emotions, they're causing me not to feel well.
I understand, and thank you for inviting me out tonight. I really could have used this after everything that happened.
Not a problem. If you'll excuse me. And she gets up. She gets up as if she's ill and kind of walks out the restaurant. As soon as she gets out of eyesight, she uses her comm and goes,
hold that thought. Hold that thought. So I spent 2 threat during this scene. Everyone except for you does not remember Ensign Mira.
Okay. Very well.
So basically, we remember everything that happened to Ensign Mira happened to Ensign Harrison.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. At that point, she still she still does her comm unit and goes, Marlo, I hate to interrupt your shore leave, but do you mind a neural scan of me, please? Seem to be hallucinating.
And Marlo comes back a little bit groggy. No offense, sir, but off duty kind of means off duty for me. You're going to want to go to a local hospital. They'll treat you much faster than I can.
Very well. And you all. Yeah, she takes the doctor's advice and gets some brain scan at a hospital, I guess.
Well, go to Starfleet Medical. You're in San Francisco.
That's right. I am. That's what I'll do.
Okay. You head to Starfleet Medical. Wait, not too long. They do thoroughly question as to why you think you need a brain scan, but they comply. In doing so, they come back, and the doctor actually comes forward. He's like, "You asked for a brain scan."
I did.
I hate to break the news to you, but have you been under stress lately?
You could say that. I've been shot a few times, almost died.
Man, well, most people go through their entire careers without getting shot at. Needless to say, if you want, I will give you a simple anesthesiac to help with the stress that you're under, but all your scans came back normal. There, you are in perfect health.
Huh. Very well. Thank you, Doctor. I appreciate that. I guess after she is released, she will go back to her apartment, and her brain will start doing the hamster wheel thing. Mostly because she specifically remembers going to dinner with Ryzen, and a human comes out. So she thinks she's losing it a little. Trying to figure it out.
All right. I mean, are you gonna inquire about?
I mean, she will when she gets to her apartment. She'll do she's now in paranoid mode. Person exists. Am I going crazy?
Okay. Who are you going to inquire to about Ensign Mira?
For first, I probably start with HR, more or less. Sure that he existed in the first place.
Okay. So, they come back to, he's like, Lieutenant Sanda, you inquired about an Ensign Mira, is that correct?
Yes.
We have no record of an Ensign Mira serving Starfleet.
Right. Okay. Thank you for your time. And then she just starts down a rabbit hole. It's not healthy. If you want to jump to somebody else, she just starts going at Alice. On Alice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who has remained on the Argo? Is there everyone off of the ship at this point?
Yeah, I'm off the ship. I can't, over our off time, I might come aboard once in a while to do a check so the captain doesn't have to, but I'm mostly not aboard.
Yeah, the captain is basically, his plans are beyond whatever around Marlowe's wedding. His plans were basically just to take 2 days at the family place, like basically a weekend. So he's probably he can be on the ship.
Okay. I'm going to say 2 or 3 days have passed. Most of you have enjoyed your shore leave time, except for Sadadel, who is now racking her brain as to what happened to Ensign Mira.
Yep, that's what she's doing.
So I think the appropriate thing to do would be for Marlowe to invite the captain and a +1 to a sort of quote unquote double date. Because I think it's only proper that he at least understand the implications of Marlowe now having a wife.
Implications, eh? Okay, yeah. Haggard will use the power of Robert Redford's looks to get a date. And meet Marlowe and his fiancée.
Mm-hmm. And I think for flavor, it would be cool if we did it at Cisco's, because my understanding is Cisco's lasts a long time. So it should still be around even in TOS era. But
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you'll book a evening dinner at Cisco's, and it's in Louisiana, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Yep.
I hear the oysters are great, fresh shucked.
And yeah, we'll say that when you show up, you see a rather strange sight because you've only seen Marlowe in uniform up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
The best descriptor I have is he still looks fashionable, but he's definitely wearing a more, shall we say, contemporary design. Like, think of someone who, like in the 40s, you know, a nice suit, maybe an overcoat, maybe even has the hat to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see his fiancée. Now, his fiancée is an alien. She has purple skin, and she has these sort of bioluminescent lines that form patterns along her skin. And she has these very prominent looking purple ears. Well, her entire skin is purple, but these ears are especially purple. And they sort of stick up and are enlarged more like almost like a bird wing than an ear. And she is dressed very conservatively as well. But what would really strike you is she has almost like a black shawl around her face. Not obscuring, just sort of around her face, around her head, I should say. And then her dress is a very, very nice looking black dress to go with it.
Very good. So Haggard is pretty much, you know, classic civilian clothes, you know, the equivalent of a sports coat, a button-down shirt, and some chinos kind of thing, with, you know, the 23rd century cuts on all of those. And he is with a tall human redhead, pretty much about his same age, very fit, seems muscular, and she is in, you know, the ubiquitous little black dress. Dr. Marlowe, good to see you.
Captain, it's good to see you, sir. And I extend a hand in a warm handshake.
May I introduce Sandra Owens. She's captain of the captain of the Jaeger. We've known each other since the academy.
Honored to meet you, Captain. May I do the pleasure of introducing Fizali? Fizali here is actually a potential member of the crew, if you will allow it, sir. And Fizali at this point smiles and steps forward without even asking and picks up and says, "It is a pleasure to meet you, Captain. If I may make my formal introduction, I am Lieutenant Commander Fizali. I am a diplomatic attaché and JAG officer."
I'm taking notes. Just give me a sec. Diplomatic attaché. Both of my parents and my older sister are all in the diplomatic corps.
Yes, it's actually quite a coincidence. I've run into a few of them during my travels. But perhaps we should get inside. It seems like the night is young, and I'd hate for us to ruin it by standing out here. And almost like it was foretold or foreshadowed, it does start to drizzle a little bit.
Okay. As we go in, I go, oh, and one more thing. Let's drop the ranks for the evening, shall we? I'm just Ulysses.
And Marlowe gets a very cocky, almost uncharacteristic smile and says, "If you're Ulysses, sir, does that make me Robert E. Lee?"
Well, I would be willing to accept your surrender graciously and offer generous terms, but hopefully that won't be necessary.
Of course, Ulysses. I understand. Yeah, let's... I hear the oysters are good. And yeah, I just kind of go inside, get us a nice table, order drinks, standard double date conversation.
Right.
But I think towards the end, after we've had our nice meal and we've had our good wine, Fizali will speak up and say, "Well, Captain, I know that my better half here, Ulysses. I know, Ulysses, that my better half here has said that he wishes you, per se, to oversee our ceremony. If it's all the same to you, I would prefer a smaller venue, and she hesitates and blushes and looks at Marlowe. I've sort of always had a childhood dream of overlooking the northern continent of North America from space when I was married."
Well, I think we can definitely make that happen. I believe the Argo, if we time the orbital period right, will have quite a view of North America from the observation deck.
And her eyes light up, and it's almost the same bioluminescent light that does the patterns on her skin. And she says, "You're a most kind and gracious gentleman. I think we are going to get along very well."
It's my pleasure.
And then, yeah, standard table talk from there.
Yeah. And I'll pull out a pad and we can all put our heads together and figure out, when you guys want to do the date and, where Space Station 1 will be in the orbit of the Earth and all that stuff to figure out the timing.
Okay. Yeah, that works for me. Just in case it wasn't clear, and so it's all on the same page, part of her coming aboard, or part of her being married, is she would actually come on board. So you would need to approve that, as would Commander Wolfgang. So this is sort of her formal, "Yeah, I'd like to be on your ship" request.
Okay. It's fine with me. You guys aren't in the same chain of command, so that's no fraternization conflicts there. And I'll send up the official request to Commander Wolfgang's queue.
I appreciate that, Ulysses. Hopefully, my big oaf here, and she sort of nudges Marlowe. He won't be too much of a bother. I understand you let him have an exercise bike, and Marlowe just shoots her daggers. It's like, you swore you were not going to bring that up. I had to. It was funny.
It really was funny. Not only is it an exercise bike, but it also powers a storage battery. And the way Marcus pedals the thing, I think he could power the entire ship if necessary. I even made the small suggestion of installing a screen to give him some scenery as he pedals. Personally, I just walk the decks of the ship, and that seems to work for me. But to each his own, I suppose.
And Fazali laughs. It's a very musical laugh. And she says, oh, this guy, if you let him, he will not only bring in an exercise bike, he will bring in at least a literal ton of exercise equipment. You should probably cut him off at the exercise bike. And Marlowe, again, just daggers. Like, we discussed this.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm having a little bit of fun with his better half because, he's, usually professional, or at least that's the vibe I've tried to be giving him. So this is kind of when the only chance he has to be quote unquote normal.
Right. So yeah, after a thoroughly enjoyable evening, I guess we'll catch shuttles or beams to whatever.
Yeah, I would. I think we'd go back to our shared apartment, but mostly we'd be doing some packing of her stuff.
I think Ulysses and Sandra might head to some of the jazz clubs and make a night of it.
Lost someone? Uh-oh.
Son of
Yeah,
Del,
nothing out of the, you get. Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary pops up in her record.
If you'd like, I could give you a few flavor events, Wolfgang. It's up to you.
It's okay. If you had something sitting in your back pocket, I was just checking on it.
All right, gotcha. Yeah, no, I mean, she's been on quite a number of treaties. She's also officiated a number of tribunals and court martials. So you're pretty much fairly standard, attaché / JAG officer service record. Maybe she played a small role in the whole Trill thing, but that's more up to Prax than me.
Yeah.
How do you spell her name?
Her name is Fizz. Physali. Fizali.
Yeah, that's not the spelling I went for.
No, me neither.
Should see it in the
Bell's phone decided to bite her.
It happens.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the captain and Captain Haggard and Captain Owens will cut a few rugs, have a few more drinks. Hopefully,
she'll make a comment that she's like, "You're lucky that she didn't gruel you there as well. She has some interesting stories to tell, but she didn't want you to lose faith, or your men to lose faith in you."
That's you all over.
Days.
That's you all over, Sandy. Always looking out for the captain's best interest.
She smiles and just, "You know me too well."
So yeah, we'll just have a night, and it'll go as it goes, and hopefully we can have breakfast together.
Probably will. Her ship is docked,
Right. I'm Captain Ulysses Haggard, and it's fantastic. I'm a very handsome man.
So, Wolfgang, is there anything you would like to do before we move on?
The short story is that he goes around and tries to catch as many seminars and lectures and parties that he can, just because he doesn't have all the free time to catch everything that's happening on Earth. And the only unique thing would be the checking the security thing once he gets that request. It's of, oh, we're getting a new person who's a JAG officer and diplomatic. Like, I'm gonna make sure there's nothing weird about them, especially with current events being a thing. And actually, that won't be just her; it'd be anyone who's new, just because he's now a little worried about personnel transfer issues. Until Starfleet's gives the green light that nothing's wrong.
Understood. So with that, we move to a scene. Unfortunately, the Argo is not clear to depart just yet because they're still conducting formal reviews. But there is a spot on the starbase where it will overlook North America shortly.
I will see if I can get that room reserved for the right date and time.
They acknowledge and they'll say, "Yeah, you can hold that room for you." They'll hold the room for you, and so if you guys want to role play that out, you're more than welcome to.
And that's on the captain. I mean, I'm all for ceremony.
That if you want to, I'm more than willing.
Yeah, I think it would be cool.
Okay. So, yeah, I can do the ceremony. I'll let you set up who's there and the vows and all that junk.
Oh, it'll be a very simple ceremony. Oh, no, go ahead, Prax.
I was gonna say, who's there is probably whoever you want to be for who'll be witnessing the wedding, and then also if you're doing a best man and maid of honor type deal.
Actually, it was gonna just be Fazali, Marlowe, the captain, and then a friend of Fazali's. Marlowe admittedly does not have a best man with him. It's a very, very small wedding. And I think both of them would show up in their dress whites.
As with the captain, of course.
There's a reason why you got the tailor to make you a new dress uniform.
It was all planned.
Very well. The stage is set.
Since the days of the great sailing ships, and perhaps even into prehistory, one of the captain's happiest duties has been to officiate at ceremonies of marriage, particularly for members of their own crews. And so I'm very honored and pleased to be here today to join these two beings in matrimony. Marcus Marlowe, do you take... Is it just Fazali?
Yeah, just Fazali.
Do you take Fazali to be your wife under the laws of the Federation, to have and to hold, to honor, to serve, from now until you may decide to dissolve this marriage?
I do, sir.
Fazali, do you take Marcus Marlowe as your husband, to have and to hold, to honor, and to serve, from now until you may decide to dissolve this marriage?
I do, sir.
Then by the power vested in me, by the United Federation of Planets and Starfleet Command, I hereby pronounce you husband and wife. You may now kiss the bride.
All right. And then as we have the big cinematic moment of kissing, Vulcan assassins. No, I'm just joking.
Why is it always Vulcans?
Because they're easy.
Yeah, Yeah, I see you got your monster girl in the game finally.
Nah, no, I have like a whole slew of aliens, and I actually like her design. It's kind of cool.
It is kind of cool. You're right. So, yeah, hope you weren't expecting anything really elaborate for that. Just kind of your
Oh
standard.
no! Like, I even me out of character, I've always liked smaller weddings. Like, the smaller the ceremony, the better.
Yeah, that's pretty much what my wife and I did. So,
Yeah. Meanwhile, back with Sonadel going insane.
Why? Why is she not coming up? What is going on? Yeah.
meanwhile, there have been double
you
dates
spent-
and weddings and oysters and breakfasts.
Right?
At
Sorry,
this
go
moment, point in time, Sondel, you spent your entire shore leave trying to find any lead of Mira, and you it's like she never existed.
So, a few hours before shore leave. No, I won't do it. A few hours. During most of this, she's probably drinking. So, we're just gonna put that out there. And yeah, she kind of starts thinking of booking an appointment with a psychiatrist. Cause
So,
yeah,
a lot.
Yeah, Falop.
yeah, Falop. But are you really gonna make me talk to myself?
No, I
Because
played
I was playing
played
him.
Maybe.
Avlop.
Oh, Avlop. I was the other one. Anasis. Sorry.
Yes, I mean, a Vulcan can set you straight with your stupid emotions.
Yeah.
You're
So-
more than welcome to message Volop and say, I need to talk to you.
Yeah. She does. She goes to, like, I guess she would have a panel in her apartment or whatever, the communicator,
Mhm.
and goes, Dr. Volop, do you mind if we speak? Having kind of a crisis, and I could use some advice.
Of course not, Lieutenant Senadel. I will be happy to help. I am aboard the Argo, and my schedule is currently free. Please beam up and see me at your earliest convenience.
All right. And 5-10 minutes later, she's at the office door.
So this is going to be the third activation, so we can give her something else.
It's fair.
Only if
ELH.
she task rolls something. If she
Oh,
she
okay.
rolls.
Okay, fair enough.
So
No. And
Okay.
she chimes the door.
Enter.
She does. I think I may be losing my mind, Doctor.
One eyebrow arches up. Avlop, who is not in uniform currently, but is in kind of Vulcan robes, making her look even more formal. Gestures to a chair in her office. There's a small table and two relatively comfortable chairs. Well, yours is relatively comfortable. Hers is far more just a chair, and she sits with a pad. Sit, please sit. Why are you concerned about your mental health?
Doctor, do you remember an Ensign Mira, a Ryzen communications officer?
I'm assuming I don't. GM.
I'm assuming that's Jack.
no. Volop does not remember Ensign Mira.
It's Avlop, people.
Avlop, sorry.
Volop.
Actually, Avlop. Okay. I do not recall such an officer. Mira, you say? Certainly not aboard the Argo, and I do not believe I've ever met a Starfleet officer by that name. Why do you ask?
See, and here I thought nope, I'm definitely going crazy. See, I have very vivid memories of this woman and her being on the Argo. I asked her to dinner, and turns out I asked Ensign Harrison, which I don't remember happening.
Fascinating. Have you had a neurological scan performed?
Yes.
With your permission, I would like to... Where did you have the scan performed?
Starfleet Medical. Also, is there a specialist Harrison on aboard the Argo?
Rank specialist? I will check, and I do so.
Oh, it's in roll 20.
No, there is not. I see it. Okay. No, there is no specialist Harrison on board, only Ensign Jack Harrison, currently listed as Chief of Communications. With your permission, I would like to access the neural scan performed at Starfleet Medical so that I may look it over myself.
By all means, go ahead.
And I bring it up on make the connections and bring it up on my screen. Do I notice anything unusual in the scans? Oh, there's a message. Nope. Okay. There does not seem to be any physiological damage or deformity. And yet you say you have very clear memories of this person.
Of both of them, in that Harrison was a specialist and Mira was Chief of Communications. Yes. Very vivid memories of it.
And I'll tap into Sonadel's. I'll look up her baseline medical record, and I will take a basic scan to compare to that baseline to see if she's showing any particularly egregious signs of stress beyond the obvious worry and stuff that that she's obviously feeling. Do I need me to roll for that, GM? Make Chris typing.
And everything is baseline-wise is the same.
Okay. Okay, so I will run her through a battery of standard psychological tests to make sure that, just going through a standard assessment, that's what it's called. Make sure that everything seems legitimate.
Yeah. I mean, if I can answer this, the only thing that the doctor would note, other than the stress she's under now, is she may enjoy speed, as in, speed, the fastness of things,
right,
a bit too much.
Well, so
yeah, speed demon.
So when did you last see this Ensign Mira?
Let's see. We're at the end of the leave, so 2 days. 1 second. 4 days ago at an Italian restaurant in San Francisco.
And I'm assuming that Avlop can tell that Sonadel completely believes this. The normal evaluative measures seem to show no aberrations in your psychology or neurophysiology. I can tell, however, that you truly believe that this Ensign Mira exists or did exist. This is highly unusual. The only thing that I can think to do, the next logical step, would be to initiate a mind meld.
You have my permission. Without hesitation, that's what she says.
All right, just try and relax. And I put the thumb and fingers on one side of Sonadel's face. My mind to your mind, and then on the other side of her face, our minds are one. Show me this Ensign Mira.
And I basically flood back the last week of her memories.
Okay.
Or no, not last week, but last 2 weeks, like with the ship and everything.
Okay. Fascinating. Show me the night of your dinner.
And she does. Including the part where she walks away and Jack comes back.
So do I notice anything when I'm seeing these memories?
As in,
Like,
you have to be specific.
whereas Sonadel and supposedly this Ensign Mira were just, not really paying attention to, when they were entering the restaurant and having dinner and to the point where she left and Harrison came back, since that's the last point, I'm trying to really, as she reviews that evening in her memories, to try and help her not only strengthen those memories and make them clearer, but I'm also really looking at things and paying attention to see if I notice anything odd, different, suspicious, something that is not that is unusual in some way. So I'm like really reviewing the tape.
Okay, give me a insight plus security.
Oh my god, that's just awful.
Or con. I'll take con.
On the
As
plus
well,
side,
as
you
you're trying-
are activating her now, so you could upgrade her.
You are activated.
All right. What do we think would be a good upgrade for the counselor?
Security?
Well, no, there is a counselor's talent. Let me find it in the medical book real fast.
Yeah, that's what I'm flipping through. Oh, it's back this way.
And the difficulty is going to be 2.
Okay.
Actually, there's several that would work for her.
She could do positive reinforcement.
There's also where is it? Psychoanalyst is another good one.
Right. She does have psychology as a focus.
You could also do a fellowship specialty, which would focus on psychology / mind melds, and you could create advantages for a cost of 1.
Her medicine's not high enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm thinking it's a social conflict. She's not really in many social conflicts. She needs some good doctor-patient kind of things.
I think positive reinforcement's probably the best bet.
Yeah. So let's do talents. And I'll fill that in later.
I'm not going insane. You're going insane.
I will strike that back with the roll. I would say it wouldn't be the supporting character. The supporting character will assist on this, but let's have Sonadel make an insight plus con roll as she navigates her memories, and then Vlad can use command plus control plus command for the assist.
Okay. Sounds good.
Difficulty still 2.
Okay, so you want to roll first? Okay. Oh, nicely done.
Am I taking the threat? I'm assuming that was a threat spin, right?
Well, we had 1 momentum left.
Well, they have both con, I believe.
You can have some threat for that complication if you want.
Well, you do get 2 momentum out of that too, so it's up to you guys.
We are getting rid of that complication.
Yeah, let's spend the momentum then.
Alright. As you navigate through Sonadel's memories, you sort of kind of stop for a moment, and as it's sort of a particular moment when she was walking back towards the dinner table, and a young woman brushed up and had a slightly longer, I would say, touch, and just a slight breeze touch with her hand across Sondel's shoulder, which seemed rather odd.
Do I sense any mental manipulation or anything?
No. Any further questions will require a momentum spend.
I'll spend a momentum to see if I can't get a clear image and remember her face.
Okay. That would be... I would almost consider that to be an advantage, but I'll allow it.
Okay. Alright, so I slowly bring out the mind meld. I'm sure Sonadel saw the young woman too. Did you recognize this woman?
Do I? I mean...
No.
No? I don't. There were a lot of people in that restaurant. It was really crowded.
Let us see if we can create a reconstruction of this woman's face, and perhaps if she has been associated with Starfleet in some way or another, facial recognition will bring her to light. With your assistance, I think we can create a reasonable representation of her features.
Sure. Yeah.
We'll hold right there for a moment. Doctor, what are you currently doing?
I would be... Are we still technically on shore leave or no?
Not really. At this point, the Argo is about ready to ship off here in about a day or so. So you'll be probably trying to organize sick bay and make sure you have all your supplies in order.
I was going to say, I
married officers' quarters.
Exactly. I would actually be moving into Fazali's much bigger quarters because, my God, have you seen what they give enlisted people?
You actually share bunks, so...
Hot bunking.
But yeah, I mean, I would poke my head into sickbay occasionally if someone needs me, and as long as I'm on the ship, I'm on call, but I'm not technically on duty.
Okay. All right. So you pop into sickbay. Let me move the location here.
Oh, I'm very zoomed in.
So Cyril's going about her, day, making sure everything's checked right. I'm assuming you're just coming here for a quick checkup to make sure everything is in order.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Cyril, anything out of the ordinary?
She comes back and says, "No, I just released the 3 patients we took on board from that planet we orbit. Over at Starbase 621 orbits."
Well, please let me know if any important patients come in that need my personal attention. Yeah, I see that token name. I see that token name. Now the question is, did you take my cannon, or is this new cannon?
New.
Oh boy.
So in walks in. Sorry, this is kind of a humor for 2 other people in here, but so a young lieutenant, junior grade Jensen, walks in. "Oh, doctor, I'm glad I talked to you. I just need you to sign these documents." And as she kind of rushes over to hand you a pad and clumsily falls straight into your arms.
I'd make a joke about you falling for me, ma'am, but I have to tell you I am married.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, doctor. Here's the list. It's just all of the medical supplies. I just need you to sign this, so I can get that transfer done for you.
I raise an eyebrow. Something's fishy here, because usually Cerule handles this whole thing and I never see it.
You are the chief medical officer. Cerule was the one that helped me with the list.
Cerule, you have interacted with this person before? This isn't, some spy I need to chokehold?
She kind of nods, like...
Alright, well, as long as Cerule vouches for you, that's alright. And I take the pad, give it my John Hancock, and hand it back. There you are.
Thank you, doctor. And if you don't mind, I have to get to engineering. There's a busy day. And she walks out, almost tripping over herself as she exits the sick bay and walks somewhere else.
I sort of take a knee and inspect the floor. Is there anything in the carpet that would have made her trip?
No, there's not.
Cerule, be honest with me. Is it true that now that I'm married, other women find me more attractive? And Cerule's like, I'm not going to answer that one. Nope. And Marlowe just shrugs and goes back on the rest of his day.
All right. Captain, where are you at?
Yes. The captain is in his... does he have like an office that besides the ready room on the ship?
No.
Okay, so he's in the ready room, probably working with Zatholis, doing oxygen consumption reports, signing off on this various administrative stuff.
Okay. With that, a couple moments pass by, and the current person who's at the communications goes, Captain, we're receiving a priority message from Admiral Bennett.
I'll take it to my ready room. Bring it up on my screen. Admiral, what can we do for you?
So Admiral Bennett, you can easily tell on the expression of his face that he's not in a good mood. He's got kind of some bags developed around his eyes, and
what's happening, Bob?
Well, this whole fiasco, I'm upset that the Trill did not join the Federation. It's just those negotiations broke down since Ambassador Sarek's absence. I hate to bear bad news, but the Argo's going to have to ship out as soon as possible. The Klingons have just attacked one of our listening posts on the border. Looks like we're going to be in for a rough ride here. Possibly a second Klingon war here.
Do I remember the Trill signing the...
You do.
Begging the Admiral's pardon, but I thought the Trill had signed with the Federation.
What are you talking about, Captain? The Trill did not sign the charter. They openly refused because of the Genesis device. And now the Klingons are wanting to declare war because they think we have a weapon of ultimate destruction, ready to use upon them in a moment's notice.
Aye, sir. We can be. We're fully loaded and with provisions and supplies. The Argo can leave at a moment's notice. All the crew's back on board. They're just beyond personnel settling in. We're good to go at any moment, Admiral.
Will do. Go ahead and you need to recall all your personnel from shore leave. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to end the furlough that we've given the Argo. As soon as you have taken all the provisions, the Argo is set to head course to the Klingon border to patrol and ensure that no Klingon forces cross the line. And when they do, be ready.
Understood, Admiral. We'll take care of it. Haggard out.
And the screen goes dark.
And I pause for a minute and kind of tap a stylus against the desk and then look up at Xatholis. Xatholis, do you remember the negotiations with the Trill breaking down over Genesis?
Does she?
She does.
Then yeah.
All right. Take care of dotting the I's and crossing the T's here. We'll pick up where we left off as soon as we can. It looks like I've got some organization to do. And I first head to the bridge and have the communications officer recall all shore leave. And then I'm going to go. Where is the XO?
Good question.
Probably in my office in the somewhere in the upper decks.
All right, so I'm going to go first try and find the XO. Or I'll page him and find out where he is and then go to him.
You do that. He's currently in one of the lower decks in a makeshift office.
All right. I head down that way. Anybody with you, or?
No, you would see lots of pads strewn about, right. And I'm reading one of them when you step in.
Commander.
Captain, how can I help you, sir?
Tell me about the negotiations with the Trill to join the Federation.
Well, I've been trying to look at it from every angle I can think of. I just don't know how we're going to get around the whole Genesis device thing. It's I mean, they didn't know about it to begin with, but once they found out about it, that was it. And I can't think of any way to argue around it. I've been at it the whole leave. I tried to talk to some friends in intelligence, but no one's sure how that got leaked.
Yeah. This is very, very troubling. Well, we've got orders from the Admiral. I'm recalling everyone from leave. Need to be ready to ship out at a moment's notice. As soon as we load the final provisions, it looks like the Klingons may want to start a war over all this.
What? But
apparently they've attacked one of our listening devices. We've been ordered to the border to patrol.
Of course we have. Darn it. All right. I'll head up to the bridge then and call and start organizing the ship to be underway on your order, sir.
Thank you. I want to check on a couple of things. I'll be up a little later.
Aye, sir.
So I think Captain to Dr. Marlowe.
I believe he's AFK right at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, doggo.
I see. Yeah.
In the refresher.
I'll take an opportunity to get some more water. Be right back.
Alright. Let's put the captain there real quick for a sec.
Back. Hey, it's Allison Jensen again.
Lieutenant Jensen here comes up and sort of, as you're reading your reports, she just kind of puts her hand on your shoulder and kind of taps and is like, Commander, if you have a moment.
I'm listening.
I just need you to sign off on all these provisions.
Puts the pad he was working on away and reaches out his hand.
She hands you the pad.
Start reading it over and double checking it.
It's just all routine supplies and everything.
That's fine. That's fine. And actually, just a quick check. This is a known person to me. Like, this isn't a new face.
Yeah. You've actually checked on it. She's been assigned to operations, and she's the new chief comms officer.
Oh. All right. Everything looks fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Just to be safe, on subsection 5, just do a duplicate of that. It's not required, but it helps to have a second on hand. But everything's fine.
Of course, sir.
Carry on, Jensen.
Yes, sir. And show us back, heads over the comm, and then gets to her duties to get everything cleared. And with that, go back to the theater of the mind. It's the
theater of the mind.
So I believe a certain counselor and Sonadel were trying to do a facial reconstruction.
Yes.
Yes, we have been.
Okay. So this is going to be a control plus.
Plus what?
I could go with either, I would say, be security, probably security or medicine, or science.
Okay, I can roll a 14 with control and science.
I have a 15 control security.
Okay, so why don't you lead and I'll assist? Your memories anyway.
Okay. Difficulty is 1.
Okay. If it's difficulty 1, I'll just roll normal. Because, yeah. Hope for the best, because I don't have rerolls for security, so.
Okay. Gain a momentum.
Yep. gaining momentum. The image that you start reconstructing is of a redhead young woman. And the counselor would actually recognize her right away as Lieutenant Junior Grade Allison Jensen.
I know this person. This is Lieutenant Jensen. She's just been assigned as our new comm officer.
Huh. I would very much like to meet her. I have not had the opportunity yet.
Perhaps we should ask her to join us.
By all means, Doctor.
I believe you rank her. Although I guess I do have the doctor thing.
Oh, I do. I do outrank her. But yeah, doctor thing would be more appropriate.
Yep. Dr. Avalop to Lieutenant Jensen.
Jensen here.
Lieutenant Jensen, would you do me the pleasure of meeting me in my office? I have a few questions I need to go over with you.
Does it have to be right now? I'm trying to get some of these provisions done, Doctor. We're due to ship out here at any moment.
I understand, yet it is imperative that I complete personnel records before we ship out to update Starfleet Command. The soonest you can get down here would be appreciated.
I just went through my psych evaluation on Starbase, Doctor, like last week before my posting. I can forward the results to you if you like.
I'm sure that would be most helpful, Lieutenant. However, I can make this an order if necessary. Under my as a physician.
Under what grounds, Doctor? I believe you have to have a reason for that.
My reasoning would be that I wish to complete your psychological evaluation myself, since you are serving aboard the vessel. As ship's counselor, it is of course my duty to make sure that all such evaluations are completed to my satisfaction.
I will have to get permission from the commander, Doctor. I'm really busy. We just got orders to depart as soon as possible. I have to make sure these supplies get on board before we leave.
Very well. I look at Sanadell with an eyebrow raised.
Doctor, it's fine. I'll catch her on the bridge. It's okay. I appreciate it.
Very well, although your sudden relaxed demeanor strikes me as odd, considering what is very clearly discontinuity in your memories.
It's a lead, and that's something.
Very well. Oh, and Lieutenant Sanadell, if it would not be too much trouble, I would greatly appreciate being, how is it that humans say, kept in the loop on this one?
By all means, Doctor.
Thank you.
And she gets up and heads to the bridge to take her post. When she gets to the bridge, she is very specifically going to get an emotional scan of Jensen. And, yeah. There will be a noticeable eyeball from Sonadel.
It will be a hairy eyeball.
So, the only thing you get from her is nervousness.
That's fine. But she is getting an eyeball from Sonadel. But she has taken her post.
And she just looks at you oddly, like, as she kind of turns around and focuses more at her console.
Lieutenant, is there a problem?
No, sir. Not at all.
Very good. Prep the ship to be ready to launch on the captain's order. We need to be away ASAP.
Very well. And she does that.
Meanwhile, the doctor has paged the captain has paged the doctor.
So Marlowe, you mean?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, sir.
Dr. Marlowe, where are you right now?
I'm on my way to sick bay. Should I start running?
No, but I'll meet you there in your office.
All right.
And I do so. So when we get there, Doctor, tell me about negotiations with the Trill to join the Federation.
Just sort of look at you quizzically. We played a game of take over your ready room and disrupt a whole bunch of ship operations because assassins. Why, sirs? Is something wrong?
Did the Trill join the Federation?
Yeah. In fact, I think I've got the commendation you handed me here somewhere. And I look around at the wall.
You see Haggard's shoulders kind of relax.
Well, either someone's stolen my commendation, sir, or my wife has stolen it.
Haggard kind of relaxes, but then tenses up again. I just got orders from Admiral Bennett, which included the fact that the negotiations with Trill broke down over the Genesis device. They didn't sign the charter. Meanwhile, the Klingons are ready to go to war with us over the Genesis device and have already struck at least one listening post. And we've been ordered to patrol the Klingon border in case they try to invade. For a moment, I thought I was going insane. Commander von Wartburg doesn't remember the Trill joining. Lieutenant Zorothrak doesn't remember the Trill joining. So far, you and I are the only two who remember the Trill joining the Federation and the Klingons not wanting to go to war with us again.
1 second, Captain. I tap my desk comm. Cerule, could you come in here for a moment? Bring a tricorder, please.
So there is no Cerule. So Anus answers like, Cerule? Who are you referring to, Doctor?
Okay, whoever the fuck your name is, bring me a tricorder.
Yes, sir.
That poor supporting character, he will now forever be known as Dr. Anus.
I mean, we have Ensign Weakass on the Akagi, so... Anyway, I take the tricorder and I say, all right, so, question, nurse, what do you remember about the Trill?
They didn't sign the charter. In fact, they openly refused joining the Federation, and they even pulled all diplomatic ties, from my understanding.
Haggard's eyebrows kind of raise, and he looks at Marlowe significantly going, see?
So Marlowe maintains his cool, and he says, all right, you nurse Anus, sorry, it's been a long day. Go make sure my exercise bike is still there, and if it's not, go find one.
Yes, sir. And he hastily walks out of the room and checks and pages the office. It's still here.
Good,
sir.
Start pedaling until I tell you otherwise.
Sir?
Just do it. Anyways, once he's gotten on the bike, or at least told me he's gotten on the bike, I say, I'm really just screwing with him, but honestly, I think this is another situation of somebody pushed something they shouldn't have. Although I don't profess to be in any way knowledgeable about temporal mechanics, this kind of does remind me of a novel I once read where somebody did something to the timeline and only certain people remembered. But I'm going to run a scan just to make sure we're both not like hallucinating or crazy or something like that.
I've read that novel. It was Barry Allen was the protagonist, I believe.
That would be reason plus medicine, difficulty 0.
I don't think I have a focus here. Unless chemistry or xenobiology would.
I mean, xenobiology, you're just kind of going over to make sure everything is where it's supposed to be.
Well, I will take 3 successes then.
You get 3 momentum. And as you scan, both of you, you come back, you're perfectly healthy and normal. Like, everything checks out.
I would like to, well, see, the problem is that's a TNG episode. I wouldn't know to check that. Would it be fair for Marlowe to get the idea that if time travel is in any way, shape, or form related, that he would want to check sort of the resonance frequency of himself versus somebody else who doesn't remember? I don't know if that's fair for me to know.
So
signature.
You can check for the quantum signature, and your quantum signature checks out.
Okay, so it is the same as other people,
Yes.
not just myself or the captain. Okay.
Correct. You haven't crossed into the mirror universe.
So,
Yeah.
not a different dimension then, Doctor, but something has been altered. Is it possible that we're dreaming this somehow? And
I mean, usually my dreams are a lot nicer than this. No offense, Captain.
None taken.
There's only so much I can really do if this is in any way involving temporal mechanics or some alternate timeline. We need an expert, and the only expert I know of is a certain Admiral Scotty. I think he's an admiral. I mean, that man has broken.
He's
Still a commander, actually.
a commander still.
Well, then we need Commander Scotty, sir. I mean, I glanced at the Enterprise logs, as sort of light reading, and that man has broken so many temporal laws that if anyone would know, it would be Scotty.
And unfortunately, he's a fugitive right now.
Right. Yeah, unfortunately, Dr. Commander Scott's whereabouts are currently unknown, and he is listed as wanted by Starfleet for Grand Theft Starship and sabotage on the Excelsior.
Well, short of going after him, and I don't know if that's something even possible, do we even have someone aboard who's knowledgeable in temporal mechanics?
Probably not.
Probably not. Well, first thing we need to do is marshal our resources. Find out if we are the only 2 people who are aware of a different version of the timeline, as we're calling it, or if there are others.
Wait a second. So apparently Cerule doesn't exist anymore. I mean, do you remember Cerule?
He does.
Yes. I just promoted her, or made her promotion to Lieutenant JG permanent.
Okay. Because I have a hunch. Some lieutenant ensign, I really wasn't paying attention at the time, some redhead came in and tripped and fell into me and claimed that she needed my signature. Normally I wouldn't think anything of it, but I did look at Cerule and asked her to verify that this redhead was actually who she said she was, because, I'm paranoid like this.
Believe me.
So this redhead, I think, is probably someone we need to talk to.
Redhead, Lieutenant JG, Ops.
Maybe. Yeah, I didn't really ask her where she was.
Shortly after the meritorious mast, young Lieutenant J.G. Redhead with the ops colors on her tunic bumped into me, and I was being paranoid, so I had Commander Wolfgang, Commander von Wartburg, scan me in case somebody planted a tracking device or something on me. He found nothing, but dollars to donuts, it's the same redhead.
Hold on. I'm trying to remember the name, and he thinks for a moment. Jensen?
Do I recognize that name? GM?
No.
I don't know her, but I pull up the
Yeah, I was gonna say let's consult the computer.
the crew, manifest or crew list.
Give me a momentum.
I will give you a momentum.
Yes, by all means.
So you pull up a Lieutenant Junior Grade Allison Jensen's record. She has been in Starfleet for the past 6 years. Quite intelligent. Her, I would say, because TOS has a little bit different rating for it, but let's just say her IQ scores are off the charts. Mostly, she's been assigned in various positions until recently she's been assigned to the Argo. But everything is pretty much routine.
Yep, this is the one.
Do I recognize her as the one who brushed into me, too, from the
Yes.
photo in her file? Indeed.
Yes, you do.
Have you had any complaints from other crew members about things not being like they remembered them being, or people missing?
No, but I could check in with Avlop. She probably would have heard more than I would at this point.
Make it so.
This is Avlop.
Avlop, could you join me and the captain for a moment in my office? You're not in trouble. I just need to ask you a few questions.
Of course. A few moments go by and stands in. You asked to see me, Doctor.
Avlop, has anybody, of course, keep patient-doctor confidentiality, but I need to know, has anybody come in talking about deja vu or knowing someone that doesn't really exist?
Curious. Yes. Are you experiencing similar symptoms?
I believe that there are those among us that are experiencing those symptoms, yes.
Fascinating. Have you run a full spectrum analysis on yourself and the captain here?
I hand her the tricorder. You should see the logs. I just ran one not 5 minutes ago.
Most intriguing. If I didn't know any better, all of you are perfectly healthy. Except your memories have been altered. I'm assuming you're finding anomalies with certain events.
Indeed. And with your patient, did the two of you manage to make any headway on explaining what is happening or what might be causing this phenomena?
We did, yes. I attempted a mind meld with said patient, and using the image from the mind meld of the individual, we found their identity. They are currently serving aboard the ship. Though the patient in question decided to go about it their own way.
A Lieutenant J.G. Allison Jensen might be the image that you discovered and tracked back to the crew?
Yes. That is the individual in question.
I think we have our common denominator, Doctor.
Well, sir, at this point, I just need to know, do I need to play bad cop or good cop?
Well, usually Commander Von Werkberg plays bad cop, but, he appears to be part of the problem, so I guess bad cop. Or maybe we'll both be bad cop. We'll just see how it plays out. I would like both of you to join me on the bridge.
Of course, sir.
And she just nods. The Vulcan bow, I guess you would say.
Right.
Oh, one quick thing. I poke my head in. You better be pedaling, nurse. I swear to God, if I come back and you're not pedaling.
I'm pedaling as hard as I can get for Doctor.
Good. Keep it up. And then, all right, Captain, I'm good.
You should definitely be bad cop.
Thank you, sir.
So, yeah, head to the bridge.
What, does Sonadel now have a toupee?
No, she has gone from super, super cheerful to almost furious. So,
Are you meeting in the conference room?
Yeah, why don't we, since there are three of us, let's go there and call in Lieutenant Jensen.
I'll just set the stage here real quick. All right. Go on. You need me something for me? You need something, Captain?
Did she come in, or I just called her? Yes, could you come? Oh, there it is. Okay, very good. Lieutenant Jensen, have a seat.
Of course.
So here's the thing. The doctor, myself, and another crewman are all remembering things that are apparently quite different from how everyone else is remembering things. The one commonality between all of our experiences is that at one point in time or another, we all apparently have bumped into you, and I mean that quite literally. I believe you bumped into me after the meritorious mast ceremony, and fell into the doctor's arms, quite literally, at not too long ago, and into the other crewman at some point during shore leave. So my question for you is, what the hell is going on?
I'm sorry. I know I'm a little bit clumsy, and I have trouble tripping over my own 2 feet. I'm really...
As she talks,
sorry
I
about
literally take out a phaser and just put it between us on the table. I have 4 more of those pointed at you right now, so you better start coming clean.
4. How is that possible?
Have you seen the size of me?
But you only have 2 arms.
Right, use your imagination. Or don't, and tell us the truth.
Give me a present security. Difficulty 1.
Yeah, no focus for this one, sadly.
It would be an intimidation.
Well, there's the one I needed.
How much do you remember?
I remember I used to have a pretty damn good nurse, Acacian, that apparently after bumping into you no longer exists. I think there's also the matter of the Trill joining the Federation that's been changed. So anything else, Captain?
Yes, I remember that the Klingons weren't about ready to go to war with us over the Genesis device.
I'm not supposed to talk about this because...
Oh, no.
And with that... all of you on the bridge the red alert sirens go off. The ship shakes and huddles.
Wait a minute, we're still in space dock, or Starbase.
And while you're in the room here, it's like, great. She just kind of sounds like, I think there's more pressing matters. I will do my best to fill in all of you when the time comes.
No, I think you're just playing for time here, ma'am. And I will stand up and
With that, we're going to cut and end for the session. It's a little bit earlier than I would like, but fortunately there was a couple absence today.